Martin. Smooth you are not.
Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
We gotta keep that.
You gotta clip that.
I'm gonna screenshot that.
Clip that and send it to Wendy.
Yeah. She's gonna be like, I failed you guys.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals, and they're about to make that very clear. So just kick back and hang with them, because you've earned it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast. This is episode 33?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Just random numbers.
The listeners only were spared of that.
This is episode 33, and yeah, we're here. This is we just got off the live session where we announced. So if you are tuning in right now, this is going to come out. You know what? Maybe I'll drop this early. That way it'll build some hype, right?
Yeah.
Because normally we release on like Thursdays or Fridays. It's Monday right now, so maybe I'll just release it like
tomorrow, dude.
Sometime
Tonight.
You know? Hey, don't put that on me.
Tonight.
Don't you put that on me?
At least tonight. Who cares?
Don't you put that on me? So this Saturday, July 16th, Walking Blind is going to be the duo guest DJing at Emo Night in Pomona, and it's Emo Night's 5-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of sick. That should be fun.
Yeah. If you're in the area, it's fun. It
is fun.
We had a great time last time.
We just get to just hang out, you know, listen to some bangers from back in the day, some jams that you used to sing along to when you were an angry youth, or a sad youth, you know, or a sad grown up, because we still listen to some of these jams right now. So it's gonna be fun. Fun.
So yeah, I think looking back, well, to be fair, they only gave us a week's notice.
True. Yeah. Actually, I asked you about it on, what was it? Sunday?
Yeah. Or Saturday. Maybe
where were we?
Maybe we were at the birthday party.
It was after
Thor?
It was after Thor. We went to
the 6th or 4th and grill?
No, after that.
Spectators.
Went to Spectators. That's the one. I went to Spectators, and then that's when I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Mike, I fully expected you to say no.
Really?
I kind of was thinking, like, because Joey asked me, and I was like, oh, let me find out if I'm free, and then let me get back to you. I was free. So then I hit you up, and I was expecting you to be like, nah, I mean, it's too short of notice. And you're like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, oh, okay. It's playlist time.
Yeah, it was so fun. Like I had such a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should just Uber this time.
Yeah. Shit, that reminds me, I got to tell my work.
Ooh, yeah. Are you gonna take?
I normally, because it's Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You normally work Sunday mornings, so that'll be fun. That's gonna be a good time. Last time we had a fucking blast. So this time around should be no exception.
Literally texting right
now. Well, while you do that, a little bit of house cleaning here. Make sure you guys check out Walking Blind Pod on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube. All the episodes are also in video form. If you only listen to this in audio form, it is available on YouTube. Just search Walking Blind Podcast, and then all the episodes are up there. There's even a couple special YouTube only episodes, like the one we did with No Bragging Rights right before Tough Love. Mm-hmm. And then just also keep in mind that we're going to be putting up some extra YouTube only content moving forward. So there's going to be some cool stuff. And then tell your friends about it.
I thought about doing that live on the way here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I was like, no one's gonna come on. No one shows up.
So another thing that I kind of want to talk about, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the universe, just so that it's there, and so that, because it seems like we just talk a lot of stuff. One of the cool things that we've been talking about is some merch. So I'm kind of curious. I want to put it out there. Who would be interested in some Walking Blind T-shirts? And because of who we are, and because of like what we like to do, and the fact that this was spawned on our Saturday morning conversations or Saturday morning therapy sessions, I'm looking into like maybe some coffee mugs and like, you know, stuff like that. So if you guys would be interested, let us know. Maybe we'll set up like a pre-order type thing, and then we'll do like I want to do like a competition. Like I want to see who can get the most people to follow and like join us, and you know,
Dude,
like,
that'd be cool.
Maybe you'll get like a bundle with like a coffee cup and a shirt and maybe a hat or something like that.
Dude,
you know?
sick.
So, yeah. So hit us up, and then hit us up at Walking Blind Pod for all your questions. WalkingBlindPod@gmail.com, or on the gram, or on TikTok, which Mike never updates anymore. He doesn't check because I send him videos nonstop, and I can tell that he hasn't seen any of them.
Open your TikTok right now.
Why are you actually on it?
I want you to open it.
Are you about to prove me
I
wrong?
want you to eat your words.
Let's see. We're jumping into talks, bro. Look at that. Mike sent me 5 new messages. I'm impressed. He must have played catch up today.
I did. Because I posted today. I posted Chewy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, now that we've got all our pleasantries out of the way and our little announcements, normally we do those at the end of the show, but we figure we'll put it in the beginning because I have no clue how many of you actually make it to the end.
Yeah, it's fun. I had so much fun last time. I even had like family come out to the last one. My cousin
You
showed
talking
up.
about Emo Night?
Yeah, Emo Night.
Yeah. If it wasn't such short notice, we could have had the one mental health check shirt printed and thrown out during Emo Night. That would have been kind of cool, but yeah, we literally found out about Emo Night
Dude, tell Mark.
a week ago. We don't have time.
Dude.
We don't have time because I still got to finalize all the designs and stuff. We got to finalize our playlist tonight.
Dude, we can have Martin make us like 5 shirts.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll see. That being said, let's jump into the MPHC.
Mental health check. You go first today.
I'm good. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I have been on the line trying to get electricians to come out. So, I have a few people that are going to come out, and then pretty much the big thing like that we're waiting on is electricity. After that, we can roll with everything else going on. And I know that we haven't officially announced what that is, but it's fine.
It's exciting.
It's fine. So, yeah, I've been dealing with that, and then work, grinding. Got some interesting things going on at the office, which I'll tell you about off camera because I don't want to throw it out there right now. But so some interesting things going on. Yeah. Other than that, man, just chilling. Nothing too crazy going on. Just like the normal, like everyday grind. I got like, it was like one of those like when it rains it pours type thing, but like in a good way.
Oh, sick.
Because like I was like last week I didn't do any voiceover work, and I was like, oh man, maybe it's it for me. Maybe the tides are slowing down. And then I got an email from Ryan this morning about a project, and then I go to check the other company that I work with, and like normally they give me a list of videos that we need done, and like I give them a flat rate per video just because it's pretty easy. And I go on there, and like I guess they were playing catch up too, and there's just this fucking giant list of like I was like, we're back, baby. We're back in business. So yeah,
The well has not gone dry.
it's not dry just yet. You know. So
Sick.
yeah, man, just living the dream.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My voice over work time is it's definitely slowed down.
Dude, I might be able to get you some gigs, man. I had a lady hit me up, and she was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a voiceover studio where I can have like multiple people voice characters." And I was like, "Well, how many people do you need?" She's like, "I need a lot." And I was like, "I can offer you maybe 3." And they're like, "No, we're looking for like a full-on." And this would have been like a huge, like basically dubbing an entire anime series, like with like hundreds of episodes.
Dang.
And I was like, well, I mean, like, you know, like we're not a whole studio, but like I can definitely get you some voices to you know, play some of the characters. Like that's definitely, you know. And they were like, well, you know, we'll get back to you. We have your contact information. I was like, fuck. That was a lot of money on the table for that.
Just lie and be like, yeah, how many do you need?
And then we just South Park it, and we do like 7 voices each. Oh,
Dude,
so
I think I could do it.
yeah. What next time something like that comes along on a smaller scale, I'll get you in and do some voice work, dude, like character work. It'd be sick. Might have created a monster with Mike. I blame Jay Pash.
Oh, you got my first gig. It was rough. Apparently, I don't read well under pressure.
Apparently, when people are asking me to read out loud, when you were a kid and they would have you read out loud in class,
I would say no. Okay.
were you the type that would just roll with it and be like, read that paragraph? You'd be like, all right, and read it, or would you calculate how many kids were in front of you and see how many paragraphs it was, and then like practice the paragraph you read?
Oh, dude, I would 100% read ahead. I was like reading like a thing ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Dude, yeah, fuck no.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah. No, that was the worst. Even as a college student, that was.
But they still make you read out loud?
There'd be like things where they'd be like, hey, can someone read this or whatever? And then somebody would volunteer, and every now and then they'd be like, you know, or Mr. Press, can you read this part? I'm like,
now that I think about it, in class, I do have like the agents that I'm training read scenarios. Mm-hmm. Like they'll read out from workbooks, and I'm like, hey, can you read this? Just to make sure they're awake.
Yeah, they'd make us read like vignettes and stuff. Like we had to read cases or like, you know, and then, yeah, that was always, yeah, I hated that. I hated it. But
where you at, man?
I feel good. It's funny. We've had like such a quick turnaround. Like usually we record Mondays. So that's like when we do our filming.
Yeah, we were just here,
but we were here on Thursday evening. But a lot has happened since then, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think so. This weekend was good for me. Like it was draining. Like as far as like I was. Like we all three of us were like dragging coming out of Texas Roadhouse, like food coma, but also we were just
it even got to a point where we said goodbye to each other and we just kind of stood there for a second. Yeah, and then I started talking to you about recording today, and Martin just looked at us and just turned and just walked away, like he was just gone. We're like, all right, bye, Martin.
Yeah, I think even our we're like. I think we just left it as like, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Yeah, this weekend was...
it was nonstop, dude.
So Friday was Thor.
Right?
Friday was Thor and then Spectators afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday was Andrew's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So we did Andrew's little party. And then Sunday, we met up for lunch at Texas Roadhouse. Which, by the way, Mike's first time at Texas Roadhouse.
Dude,
what did you think of the steak?
It was so freaking good.
And the medium rare?
It was the way.
Was the way to go.
It was the way.
Yeah.
It was even good today. I ate my leftovers before I came. I got one more for lunch, but it was really good. I was kind of I'm not gonna lie, I was a little what's the word? So we show up yesterday. Mind you, we are tired. Like I had worked yesterday morning, and from work I went to Burner State band practice. And dude, okay, and so for Burner State band practice, we had long story short, we couldn't get into the studio we were supposed to rehearse at.
Right.
And so we had to go to a different one. So there was a lot of waiting around. It was so all I'm thinking in my mind is like, man, I could have taken a sweet nap before this or
Solid
something.
nap. Yeah.
And then from Burner State practice, I went to meet up with Mike and Martin, and we show up, and Martin's like, I already put our names in. It's going to be about an hour wait. And so we'll just hang.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? I was like, I'm kind of hungry now.
Like, we never wait for restaurants. Why are we waiting for this restaurant?
Yeah. So
that is true though, because we normally there's a wait and we're like, let's go somewhere else.
yeah. Well, dude, I bounced. Remember at freaking at Heroes for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nah. No. So, but then part of me was like, dude, because you seem to be cool with it. You and Martin seemed so cool with it. So I was just like, oh fuck, maybe this place is that good. They were willing to wait an hour, and it was an hour.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there was that Starbucks next door, so we got to just hang out there for.
Dude, and I was so tired. I was so jacked up that like we got to the Starbucks, we sat down, we're drinking our drinks, and I'm like, we should head back.
Oh yeah.
And you guys all were like, now? And I'm like, yeah, just in case. And then nobody said anything to me until we're like almost at the car. You guys were like, we were only in that Starbucks for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
dude. I was
like maybe 20. So we only.
I was like, what?
Like we still have 40 minutes to go.
I was like, what do you mean? We were there for forever. You're like, no, it was like 15 minutes. So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. It was, dude, yesterday was rough, man. But I think it was good because it was just a fun weekend. I was tired, physically tired just because of like there was just like no breaks pretty much. But I think mentally it was good. It was good to see everybody, hang out with everyone. Friday night was so much fun, and then Saturday was good to see Andrew and everyone, and then Sunday. So I think mentally I'm doing well. It was nice to have Burner State had a really good practice once we finally got to practice, and so I mean that's always good for me. Just being able to do music is always a good good on the mental health, and yeah. So I think it's been a good start to the week. I was so tired at work today. I was extremely tired, but I got to take a nap, and so now I feel like I'm kind of caught up and reset, and I currently feel good, and hoping to ride that into the week.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
So
what did you think of first off, spoiler-free reaction to Thor?
I liked it because I felt like it was made for me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm coming down to. If you like, just straight up, if you like Taika Waititi's humor, you'll love this movie.
Yeah.
If you don't, because apparently I've met people who don't, apparently, then you won't like this. It'll be too silly for you.
Yeah.
It's funny. One of my biggest plot point problems, Mike dispelled like that. I was like, and I've been thinking about this like the entire all morning. It was like bugging me, and I brought it up to him. It's a I can't say it because it's a sick,
yeah,
kind of a sick spoiler. But when I was thinking about it, I was just like, I kind of why didn't if this then why not this? And then Mike just threw out, well, because of this, and I was like, yeah. That checks out.
That's
that makes more sense.
That's fair.
But dude, I enjoyed it, man. I laughed a lot. Even and a lot of stuff, just like Thor Ragnarok. There's a lot of heavy stuff, dude. A lot of there's some sadness in this, but it was handled in such a fun way.
I think that there was definitely I agree. Like, if you don't like that type of humor, if you're not into that kind of comedy movie, then it's definitely not going to be for you. Because let me put it this way: if you loved Thor and Thor: The Dark World, and didn't really care for Ragnarok, you're gonna hate. You're gonna hate Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Love and Thunder is the Love and Thunder that they're referencing is not what you think it is.
Yeah, that was a cool twist.
And then if you see the movie, without any spoilers, there's actually like there's a cameo from his actual daughter in the movie, which is really fucking cool too. It's cool to
And
see
son.
Yeah, it's really cool to see like their interaction on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know that like I think maybe it was the first Thor, they had to reshoot like a kissing scene. For one of the shots,
And it's his wife.
Because he was like, we got to reshoot it, but like they're gonna shoot it from this angle, and he was like, well then just have my wife do it. Bring my wife in. So he's a family man through and through.
And I mean, this isn't much of a spoiler, but she's also the wolf woman.
She is?
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Well, that part again, like if. Like this stuff is so stupid, but it's so funny. There's like an ongoing like thing that happened, like these.
We can say this if you're gonna watch the movie, the goats,
dude,
are the best, and you would think that you're gonna hate the goats,
yeah,
and it never gets old.
Dude, right away, first time it happened, we laughed so hard. It's so funny, but I thought immediately like, I hope they don't keep going back to this because it's gonna get old
I
quick.
hope they don't overdo this,
dude. No, I laughed every single time. Every single time I laughed. It's such a fun movie, but it's like the stuff happening is heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy stuff. That's like one of the things. Like again, with Thor Ragnarok, we can go into spoilers for that. The movie's been out for like 2 years or 3 years, whatever. There's so much death. All his friends basically are murdered by his sister.
Yeah.
Odin dies, his father. A big portion of the Asgardians die. His home planet dies. Like, that movie it would be so depressing, but you walk away from it as being one of the funniest MCU movies because I think Taika Waititi is amazing.
I'm gonna give you guys fair warning. This is spoiler territory that I'm gonna talk about right here. So fast forward like 2 minutes.
Turn the volume down. When you're done,
we'll wait. So there's a scene which is not a major spoiler, but there's a scene where they're telling the story of Thor, right? And he's like, and he had to say goodbye to his brother, and then he had to say goodbye to his brother again.
Yeah.
and again. You talk about like all the times that Loki died.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, I think that I definitely think that movie, the movie was hilarious. It's almost borderline like too funny,
right,
for like the universe and what they're trying to accomplish, but at the same time it's so good that like, and the Guardians played a much bigger role than I thought.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was good, man. I won't argue with anyone who like didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because I was just telling me that you're boring and you don't understand good comedy.
All right, you might as well wave to the people now so we can stop talking about spoilers. Yeah, it was fun.
It was a fun movie.
It was a fun movie. What do you think? I mean, like, if you watch the movie, stay for the post-credit scenes. We have an idea of like what the next installment of Thor is going to be, but aside from that, like how much longer do you think this contract is going to go for Hemsworth?
And to think that he was probably the biggest nobody
of
when this whole thing started.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, they're gonna have to do at least one more Thor because of how this one ended. Man, I don't know. I don't know. The beauty of Marvel is they can, as long as they can keep going with him, moving forward.
Yeah.
But then also you think about this, like there's the X-Men are coming, Fantastic Four are coming.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he has a place. I think there's so much stuff you can do with his character now because, he has shown that he can be the serious version, so he can be in a serious movie. But then also, like, if you want to keep doing the fun stuff, then you can throw him, put him back with the Guardians or have him do an adventure with Deadpool now. Who knows? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think he did well. But, sorry, you were talking about the end credit? Without giving this anything away, I think... Oh, man. I don't know if this actually thinks is a spoiler.
Do you think that's a good way to end his arc?
I think he has another... I think he could end his arc like that, but I also feel like... I guess he could, because if he sorry to say that one. If he defeats this person or this situation he's about to be in, then you would assume that I'm sure there's some other collateral that would go potentially in his favor so that he can end in a really crazy spot.
True. Yeah. I can see that.
And I think so. This is my thing, and I don't think it's a spoiler. I thought he was like pretty high powered, and I was like, is he always this powerful? But then I was thinking, Ragnarok, he kind of did show that he has that next level. He kind of showed it in Infinity War, like, and so I think we've seen the end credit scene. I'm like, that's why they have. If that's why, then that's makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense why he's so
for what's coming
powerful. And of course, the ladies that went to the movie were there for the story.
Right.
They're there for the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you guys saw in the trailer, they don't blur nothing, and the
apparently,
the extra cut.
Apparently, my lady was not there for Thor; she was there for Valkyrie, and I found that out at the theater, and I was like, okay, cool.
There's something for everyone.
There's something for everybody. Something for everyone.
Yeah. It was good. It was fun. I had fun with it. It was kind of a nice, in a weird way, kind of a nice palate cleanse from Doctor Strange. Kind of a weird movie.
Yep.
Also kind of dark and whatnot, but
it was last episode that we talked about this, how we said that Doctor Strange right now doesn't feel like much happened, but it's gonna be one of those movies that we look back on and we're like, oh
yeah,
that really set the groundwork for a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see where all that goes.
Yeah, I have faith in Kevin Feige. I feel like there's gonna be some any threads that were made throughout the movie. I feel like they're gonna have ties at the end of it. They're gonna have something. There's things from like the first phase and second phase and stuff that had ties much later, and we still see that are coming around, and it's. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And like that, oh, that's crazy, because now that makes more sense for this. That's important for this now. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, even Red Skull disappearing, and Captain America: First Avenger, and then showing up as the as the guardian of the Soul Stone. So
it all plays its part.
Yeah, it'll tie. Marvel's pretty good at tying it. You know, I feel like they've earned trust based on how well everything wrapped up in Endgame, Infinity War, Endgame. So I think they've earned the trust. Unlike Game of Thrones.
let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. Although Martin, what's his name? J.R. The writer of Game of Thrones basically said that don't count on the book ending to be the same as the show. In a roundabout way. That's what he said.
Makes sense.
But yeah. We celebrated a birthday.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
On Saturday, happy birthday, Andrew.
Which we kind of talked about on Thursday a little bit.
Yeah.
We need to have him come back and tell the tale of the shoes.
Yeah.
The shoes.
Follow up. Which, again, I can't believe that was just a year ago now.
Just a year ago. And look how much he's accomplished in 1 year.
I'm going to go ahead and say he's a monster now.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
He's a straight up monster. How dare you, sir? He had a girl drop off a birthday gift for him here at my house. He wasn't even here. Sir. Sir.
New shoes, huh? Maybe. Dude, you know what? I didn't even think about it. I got to get my shoe game.
I tried, Mike. I tried to help you too.
I don't know.
All right, should we jump into questions?
Yep.
Let's jump into questions. This is going to be one of those episodes where we catch up with you guys. We talk about questions that we got from the live stream earlier today. Mm-hmm. So from Firth Mac, anxiety and its physical toll on the body.
Yeah.
Honestly, it can be pretty hard on the body in ways that you won't even notice. Mm-hmm. It could be, it could be your mental health. It could be just the way that, like for me, when I get anxiety attacks, a lot of times I don't realize I'm getting an anxiety attack. I just feel like kind of shaky and I just feel disoriented and kind of like something feels off and I can't figure out what it is. And then it starts to like kind of click with me. I've even seen situations where people start like hyperventilating, or even just like in cases where you have like, you're constantly anxious and you constantly have the anxiety, like there's tendencies to like either overeat or comfort eat, right. Things like that. So there's a lot that it does, even to the point where like you get stressed and your muscles stay tensed up, or like you feel it in like your neck, things like that.
Yeah, and and just that, like the stress in your heart, elevating. High blood pressure leads to heart conditions, right? It can cause early strokes, early heart attacks. A lot of times, we tend to think, heart attacks for elderly people or people that maybe aren't like in the best physical shape, which, there's that as well. But a lot of people don't realize, like when you hear about like, oh, this person, like they had a stroke and they dropped dead, or they had a heart attack and you wouldn't know. Well, I'm sure if you examine their life, maybe they didn't handle stress well. Maybe they lived a life of stress or, constant anxiety or fears, whatever it is. Like, that's why, like, it's, I don't want to go into a conspiratorial political thing, but, some of my discussions with friends about like certain things going on in our world, and I come across as almost like, oh, like, well, you don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yes and no. But I don't care to the point where I'm going to let this affect me physically.
Right.
Even with COVID and the height of it, it's not that I didn't like believe it was happening or whatever, but it's like, well, if this is spreading like crazy, then well, let's like deal with it when it happens. I'm not gonna like be scared in bed, or I'm not gonna be like stuck in my house just worrying, just waiting for it to come get me. Like, you know, when it happens, I will deal with it.
Right.
You know, and so I'm not gonna let this take sleep from me. I'm not gonna let this take my health from me. You know, and so, you know, I kind of feel like I wish more people would do that, just in everyday life. You know, I know this world is a scary place, or it can be a scary place. I know there are horrific things happening all around us. There's a lot of dangers in this world, but like, live your life. Like, don't focus on that stuff. Because that's fear on its own, you know, and that's stress on its own. And all that stuff, it affects you. It affects your body. So, you know, I'm not saying don't live your life, you know, careless and oblivious, but learn to understand things that impact you, and try to focus on the good things. Try to focus on things that bring you joy, activities that bring you joy, because that also can help you. You know, like you're talking about how anxiety and stress, like sometimes you're gonna just have those things. Like, life is hard. There are situations some of us are in financially, you know, or relationship wise, that are going to have these stressors there. But if we can incorporate or just introduce, you know, things that bring us joy, you know, on a consistent level, whether, no matter how big or how small they are, if we can do that, that'll help, you know, bring down that anxiety, you know, bring down that, you know, bring that blood pressure down. Obviously you can do it by changing diet, but by like breathing exercises, or just finding things that are not stressful and that actually, you know, help raise your serotonin, help you, like, you know, feel good.
We should take our own advice.
I know. But, you know, in a weird way, we kind of do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we have our things that we find joy in, you know, our dumb little TV shows that we watch, or the movies we go to see, you know, or bands we go to see. Like, those things, they're fun for us. You know, maybe they shouldn't be so much fun for men in their 30s, but they're fun for us. And they
are.
Yeah.
We're children.
Yeah. We're man-childs.
We're man-children.
Yeah, so it has a physical effect, and a very dangerous and a very serious effect. If you can't find a way to find that peace in your life, like, find it. You know, there's message us, but there's a lot of good coping mechanisms out there, and there's a lot of just activities that I'm sure if you really sit back and think, I enjoy doing this, or this brings me joy when I, you know, like, find that, and then find ways to do that as often as you can.
You kind of mentioned like bands that we listen to, and it ties to a message that we got on the Instagram page. Now, I'm not going to say who this is, because we are bad at announcing guests and stuff. So this could be a potential guest, but it'll say, and before I show you or tell you who it is, I'm just going to show you. We're not going to read it out, but it says, "I'll totally be a part as a guest for your podcast. I have stories I can share about my mental health. If you'd like to have a special guest, etc."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, I think that'd be cool. So that just kind of ties into bands that we've listened to and talked about and stuff like that. So moving on, next question. Steffi Demoro. I hope I said that right. Do you have any tattoos?
I do not.
I do. Mike doesn't.
Show him the new one.
I got a tattoo on my leg, so it's too far away. Shout out to Adrian, though. Adrian Landis Tattoo. Adrian Garcia. Love you, dog.
You should take a picture of that and put it
like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when it's healed and I don't have a cankle, because they just like pounded away on my shin for a few hours yesterday. Trying to fill up my left leg. That's always a fun time. Mike, do you want to go over the quick version as to why you don't have any tattoos and what you will get a tattoo for?
Yeah. Quick version, and this is not throwing shade at anybody, because I like tattoos. I think they're cool.
Tattoos are for pussies. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I just at a pretty young age, I really wanted to get a certain tattoo of a certain band, and I just realized that things changed because that band changed. They even changed their name in a way, and so I don't know. It just made me very aware of the fact that things change, and for myself, a lot of my interests change, and I've kind of played the game of I know the time and place of when I've had ideas for tattoos, because I've had ideas for tattoos. But my default thought is always like, well, I can get that as a painting. But thinking about the time now, the tattoos that I've liked to have had and having them on me now, I would say one of them I would still be okay with, and I feel like it would still hold, and it'd be like one that I got from my grandmother. I think as far as the art style, might be a little dated, but
do you think that there's gonna be a point of time where like all of us who are like like heavily tattooed and like either traditional or like Japanese style pieces and stuff like that, is there gonna be a time when like this style of tattooing is like the barbed wire or like the
yeah, it's
definitely gonna happen.
Like, you don't know, like, not that this is like a bad thing, right? But it's like, what if in 5 years, the symbol for like, transgender is the eagle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it could be anything. Not that it's like, not that like,
yeah.
But we don't know. Like, things change. Or
we get it, Mike. You're a hater.
Yeah. Or like, if let's just say like if I had like a Japanese samurai on my back or whatever, what if like in time that becomes like part of like, oh, cultural,
yeah,
appropriation, or like,
true,
or oh, that's so racially insensitive for you to have this, and it's like,
I also think so. Like, I had this conversation with a couple people, but when I was younger, I loved like all black and gray tattoos, right? Like I just thought that they would look so tough, like portraits and like all these like, but like when we were 18, 19 years old, that was like only things that like gangster dudes did, right? So I went in the punk rock direction of like, let me get colored tattoos, whatever, and then only to find out that like I'm a brown kid, so the color doesn't pop like it does on those of a fairer complexion. So I'm like, oh, okay, man, color looks cool, but like the pieces that look best on me are the ones that are like heavily in black with little bits of color. So that's kind of been over the years my direction I'm leaning towards, is more black with little bits of color. And then now, like all black and gray pieces and like stuff like that, like that's in trend. It's fashionable. And I'm like, fuck,
I would have been it.
I would have been fine.
Yeah.
I would have been it.
I would have been back. Dude, I remember, I wanted spider webs in my elbows.
Sick.
like would you think that I'd want that though? Like, I've wanted that since like.
You never wanted nautical stars?
No. I mean, I'm sure I would have found a way to put them on my body had I like gotten really into tattoos.
Yeah.
Just based on the time.
I will say I don't have a nautical star tattooed on me anywhere.
Oh.
Which is kind of rad.
Martin Alcedo, do you?
Martin, do you?
Do you have any nautical stars?
Maybe flames? Do you have flames? Hey, why is the camera autofocusing on a weird random place in the middle of the table like there's a face there?
Stop it.
I'm not kidding. You see that little box in the bottom that keeps lighting up?
No, where?
You see how the boxes light up around our face?
Yeah.
It was doing that on the table. I'm just saying, haunting.
My hand.
Let's move forward. See, there it goes again. Look. Oh, no.
It's my hand.
Is it though?
Focus on my hand.
It's not focusing on your hand.
My hand looks like a face.
All right, moving on. Ty asks, question for both mics: your favorite dish to cook?
I have one, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
Bomb ass adult grilled cheese. We'll just try to make it sound as like
grown up grilled cheese.
Grown up grilled cheese.
For me, it's probably, I have like a pretty gnarly garlic Parmesan mac and cheese. I also make a pretty mean steak.
Yes.
And I just like grilling in general, being on, like the dad mode before being a dad type thing. I like standing by the grill. You got to click the tongs at least twice before every movement and motion that you
activate.
do. Yeah. Clink, clink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, with kind of like all the changes moving forward, see, look, there's another, it's focusing again.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
It's so weird. Is there a reflection of the face on a table? Anyways, that being said, I've been talking to Ty about this. I think it's time to bring back Cooking with Diamonds, where we cook up a dish and then we cook up a maybe a song, like a beat or an instrumental or something like that. Who knows? The world is yours.
Do that. Why don't you do that? Do it. I had I don't know if I should discuss this here, but did you know that at one point, I have other Filipino friends, Mason and I. We were like gonna do a series where I was gonna he was just gonna find exotic foods or fruit and vegetables for me to try, because I'm not as I'm not as versed in apparently like exotic fruits.
Yeah.
And remember I was gonna do that?
I told you I would fully produce the whole thing. Just let me know.
Yeah. And dude, we were ready to go. I think for him, he kind of realized like, dang, there's a lot of work for like
No,
a little bit of content.
With the first episode that we do, we have to get you on camera eating durian.
Okay.
But the whole thing is we need your full reaction of like cutting into it and putting it right in front of you, because it smells like a dirty ass diaper.
I'm down. Another kind of thing that's like funny / kind of scary. It's like, because we were doing it and we were talking about like, oh, we do this and that, and then Mason's like, do you have any like, do you know if you like have any allergies to like certain foods? I was like, no, but
guess we'll
what a way to find out.
We'll keep antihistamines in the cabinet. All right, so let's see. Steffi also asked, any good books? Look like Mike has a collection. She was referencing the little coffee table books we have in the back there. Those are just some little random little reading pieces. But what's your do you have a favorite book?
So I do have a favorite book, and off the top it sounds like such an easy book, but I love it because it has a couple things that I strongly feel like spoke to me. It's called Ahead of the Curve, and it's a baseball book about analytics and how the game of baseball basically is refusing to change.
Okay.
And what I like about it is it questions the norm, and it really points out like group and herd mentality.
Right.
Like doing this because, well, that's the way, but there's a better way.
Yeah.
A proven way. It's being proven.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? Well, I don't want to look bad if for the one time it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Basically is the mentality. And so I like that because I like the idea of challenging your own thoughts and beliefs. Like as a coach of baseball, it really checked me, and it really like, hurt my feelings as far as I was like, shit, I was like, I do that. And when I was able to like, it was a good exercise in learning to like see something, step back, and then try to see it with like, give it a fair thought, whether you think that's crazy. But let's dive in. And when you dive in, if you walk out of it and you think that's still crazy, then cool, you at least gave it an opportunity. But if you go in and you can see like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
My mind is free to change.
Yeah.
And I loved that book for that. So Ahead of the Curve. Let's see. I really like.
Oh yeah, Ty did ask top 3 books. So.
Oh yeah, so 2 and 1.
Yeah.
A book that impacted me in a way that looking back on it now is kind of interesting. Because it's a book called His Shining Light or His Bright Light or something like that, and it's a book by Danielle Steele, and it's about her son. And her son, the reason that I even found this book and the first thing that made it interesting to me was it's about Nick Trina, the singer of Link 80, sick ska punk band, and he basically overdosed. He had an accidental overdose, and so it was my first time. Again, this is in high school. I read this in high school. It's probably the fastest I'd ever read a book from cover to cover, basically. And the only real book other than Ahead of the Curve that I've actually gone back to read again, kind of thing, like multiple times. Like I hear people that like go back and read books. I'm like, why? But that one, because it was my first time hearing about depression, and at the time manic depression, or right. And so kind of some terms a little dated, but for the most part, talked about bipolar and these things that he dealt with, and it's just so. It's interesting in high school. I didn't understand fully, but I understood certain things, like his having a pretty good life. His mom, famous author and stuff, and he's given opportunities, but then how he just felt like he just always like there had moments where he just felt like trapped in his own skin, or he just felt like unhappy and angry to a point where he's like, but I don't know who to point this at.
Right.
And so a very interesting book, especially because it's the lens of a mother who has a son who's dealing with severe mental illness, and eventually what happened with him. But so I'd say that's probably my second top 2 book. And then a book that I just it's interesting to me, and I read it. That's not good to say. I was about to say I read it like I read it like I read the Bible, because I'll there's certain chapters where I need to go back and be like. But it's basically the
Kama Sutra book.
Yes, but different sexual positions and
and the ways I don't use them.
Yeah, it's the meditations of Roman ruler Marcus Aurelius.
Okay.
And it's kind of like where, I don't know how many people know this. I don't know if we even talked about this, but like I'm a big like, I don't know, subscriber to Stoicism.
Yeah.
And so reading was very eye-opening, and I just think it has a lot of really cool I guess like life lessons or mottos. And what's interesting is that this was written by a man in a position of power, but at probably the time the most powerful person. And these were basically his own like diary entries. Like nobody was meant to read these.
Right.
So they're written in such an honest way because it's for him. And and so like he's like, and so it's cool to see the inside of a person like in his position, and just his thinking of wanting to be a good human, wanting to be a person that's not run by emotions, mm-hmm. and thinks logically through situations, good or bad. And so, yeah, I think it's called the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. I'm not sure. I'll have to go through, but that's probably my favorite, my top 3.
For me, so the first one is like a kid's book basically, but it was also made into an awesome movie that has like a ton of young stars before they were stars, like Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez, The Outsiders, dude. Fucking love that book. Mm-hmm. For all you youngsters, you always hear in like the pop punk songs like "Stay Gold" or "Stay Gold, Pony Boy." Mm-hmm. It's from that book and that movie. And there's just something about it, like the whole like we're just fucking like outcast kids who like
the youth crew and bleach in their hair.
Yeah. So it was, dude. I loved it. I still to this day I made Karima watch the movie the other day. I was like, you have to watch this if you've never seen it. She's never seen it. Oh. So I have it on DVD, which is it's a disc that you put into like a DVD player, and then instead of streaming over the internet, you can actually watch a movie, on your TV. It's pretty crazy, kids.
I was following you for a second as if you're being completely serious and showing some new insight. I was like, huh. Because I zoned out for a quick second to like, that that movie had like so many stars.
So many eventual
like
stars. Ralph
crazy.
Macchio,
Tom Cruise, right?
Tom Cruise,
Matthew
Matthew Lillard, Patrick Swayze. Oh my God, who else?
The ageless man.
Yeah, what's his name? Fuck,
He looks like Rob Pelinka, Lakers GM. Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe. Yeah, young Rob Lowe.
A young Rob Lowe.
Handsome as fuck. The dude from Stand By Me. Shit, what's his name?
Dude, what a freaking cast.
Yeah, there's just a ton. He was also the older brother in E.T. Fuck, what's his name?
I can't.
Anyways, yeah, great cast. The second one for me would probably be, and I say this, but like I still just like jump back and forth on that book, and I feel like I need to reread it again because it's one of those books where I'm super ADD. I fucking love it and I love reading it, and then I tend to zone out. But there's so many good quotes. Like I have this weird problem with when I'm reading where I'll be fully reading the book and then my mind will just go somewhere else and I'm still reading and I'll like check back in. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah,
I have to go back and reread stuff. But Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. So it's like basically a fictional autobiography about this dude who goes on a cross-country road trip with his son on a motorcycle.
Interesting.
And there's just like a ton of like, and I pulled up because there was a certain quote that I was looking for that's like awesome. And it says, the truth knocks on the door and you say, go away. I'm looking for the truth. And so it goes away. Puzzling.
Damn.
And there's just like, there's so many like life lessons in that book. It's just supposed to be like this introspective, like, I remember reading it before I started riding motorcycles and thinking like, oh, that's crazy. And then like, even just like in the first, I think chapter or two, it talks about the experience of riding a motorcycle, where when you're in a car, you're like, basically like, you're seeing everything around you, like through a window, almost like you're looking through a TV or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not actually immersed in the world. Right. Whereas when you're on a motorcycle, you can put your feet down and feel the road underneath.
Right.
Like, everything is so like you're in.
You're so it's so present.
And so it's pretty cool. And then like there's like this whole thing about how like, they're riding and like the bike breaks down and he's like can't figure it. He's like, I went through the bike like all the way through, couldn't figure it out. Get the bike towed home, and then finally he's like, we fucking ran out of gas. Like the last thing that I expected is what happened. Like it's just shit like that. It's pretty cool. But there's quotes like, you look at where you're going and where you are and it never makes sense. But then you look back to where you've been and a pattern seems to emerge. It's like a bunch of introspective like life stuff where you're like, oh yeah. So yeah. And then, let's see, for the third book, I want to say like, I really liked like the Dan Brown series of, like Da Vinci Code and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Just because I fucking loved all the like conspiracy and like the the bloodlines and all this stuff. Like that was one of the books when I read it, I like couldn't put it down.
A lot of fiction mixed with truth because there
A
are
lot
some
of fiction
truths in
mixed
it.
with like some real shit going on. Mike questions everything. Trademark 2022. Walking Blind Productions. Landward Multimedia.
Canceled.
So, all right. That is our 3 books. Let's see here. Best animated comic book movies from Jolka. Hands down, the DC universe comic book movies are the best ones.
Yeah. Flashpoint is amazing.
Ty asks, what storyline for the next TMNT? I think it's The Last Ronin. They just finished the run. That needs to be a movie. Yeah.
Agreed.
And then Steffi asked, both Mikes, are you single? I am not, but he is.
I am.
Available on every dating app in the world, including Grindr.
And apparently I'm going to have to check out Craigslist personals or whatever. Or is it Facebook personals?
Craigslist misconnections. To which Jamie said, you will find a lot of things on Craigslist. Love isn't it.
Challenge accepted.
Ty asked top 3 sushi spots for both mics. I feel like we're gonna mostly be the same, except mine is gonna include Miyagi's out here in San Bernardino.
Ooh.
Miyagi's is fire, and you wouldn't expect it.
I really like my Okoku.
Okoku, and then I think we can agree on
Asahi.
McKinley.
Corona. Yeah.
Asahi off McKinley. Yeah.
You know what? I really like. It's a sushi spot in. What is it? It's out like towards Escondido, San Marcos area. It's called RB Sushi. Really good. Yeah.
Anyways, those are at least local to us. Those are our favorites. Steffi asked, "Do you have a dog? What's its name?" It just walked by in the back. Could have been either Chewy or Isley. Chewy is the little handsome 30-pound golden retriever looking dog, and Isley is the big bulky bulldog.
Yeah.
Both awesome.
If you haven't yet, you can find the actual clip on YouTube of Chewy just being so cute. I have a dog, and his name is Coda, but he's not here.
Coda is awesome also. And Mike one time brought Coda to my house for a UFC fight, and he was so stressed out, like a parent that was afraid his kid was going to get into fights with all the other kids, that he just...
It's not my kid's going to get picked on.
Jesse asked, "Does pineapple belong on pizza?" Absolutely does.
Yes.
If you don't think so, we should have a conversation.
Kindly leave.
Will Chewy make an appearance on tonight's episode? Probably not. He's hanging outside with Isley. Ty asked, mental health question. Do you think how parents deal with depression is hereditary? That it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's hereditary, but I do think that kids catch on to things a lot more than we, really believe and understand. And I truly think that if you're going through depression, your kids pick up on that, and they see the way that you cope and the way that you handle it. And that sets a precedent for how they eventually handle things in the future.
Yeah.
Hereditary, I don't know. Now, depression itself may be hereditary, but I don't know about the way you handle.
Like, I feel like, there's some maybe deficiencies that can get passed on in our bodies that maybe make you more susceptible to that, I don't know. I mean, I think we have to to truly look it up to see what the actual answer is for that, but
yeah,
it's a great question. That's the thing too. Ask us questions so that we can put these questions out to the world, and maybe somebody can help us answer them.
Because if you guys haven't figured it out yet, he went to school for this. I'm just the street level guy that tries to figure things out. And there's a lot of people that are far brighter than us when it comes to this type of thing. Yeah,
I have a degree in social work. I do not have a master's nor am I licensed. So, and what's nice though is the reason why I like, because people are like, oh, why would we come to you for questions or things like that? Well, just like most people, you can get access to them. I have access to professionals, which is rad. I actually had a call upon. Actually, on Dylan, I hit up Dylan recently for a situation to basically be like,
really?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. But yeah, I reach out. I have access to professionals. So
I will say this. I won't explain the whole scenario, but one night we were out, and Mike got a text message or a call from somebody who was really struggling with like. A lot.
Just struggling, yeah.
And Mike walked out of what we were doing, like the whole thing that was going on. Mike was like, I got to take care of this. So, it is one of those things where there are people that are willing to listen to you that are, there to help you. And while we may not be licensed professionals, we just kind of have probably lived a lot more life than we probably should have at our age. and we've been through some nonsense. So we just talk about from our own personal experience.
Yeah, and also it doesn't require a lot. I know to listen well is difficult, and actually takes practice, I think. But anyone can listen. Just listen.
So Jolka asks, what are some suggestions for someone new that is trying to start a band? Well, find people that are better than you at what you do.
Yeah. I think it's really important to establish what you want out of this band that you're doing.
Yeah.
Obviously it should be for fun, but it's like, what do you want? So I'll use Burner State as an example. Burner State, for all intents and purposes, is a fairly new band. We started around the pandemic, but like, I still consider us being like a new band. But we had to kind of establish what we wanted this band to be.
You guys have done a lot.
Yeah. And, and also like, because when we know what we are, then it's easier to operate.
Yeah.
In that, because like, I know what it's like to be. We both know what it's like to be in bands that are basically all in and like, and doing it, like trying to do it, and that's a whole different mentality from just being a band that's like, we want to just write music, play when we can, and like for me, Burner State, the biggest joy is practice. Like that's been fun. Being able to write stuff is obviously fun to do, and then playing shows are just kind of like a bonus at this point.
Yeah.
It's like but that's like not the end all for me. But whereas like what for no bragging rights for me, playing shows is fun, but obviously clearly that's not like the main motivation to continue doing it. For me, the main motivation is what MBR has the potential to do as far as creating awareness and being an opportunity to advocate, right? So
yeah.
But figure out what kind of band you want to be, and then just focus on writing the best music possible that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to play those songs. So
also, like, kind of to tie into that, make sure that everybody in the band is on the same page as you. Like the worst part, or one of the worst things to deal with, is you have like this guitar player that you found who's sick, but they're like, oh, I just really only want to like play at bars like once every 6 months or something like that, versus like you might come into this with like I really want to like put out a record. I want to do a lot of cool shit. And then, to be honest with you, if like it's really going down to like starting a band, I know that this sounds old school, and I know that like, that you're like, there's no way that this exists anymore, but go to like, the little practice spots around your area. They straight up still have bulletin boards where people like looking for a metal singer, looking for a female front woman, for a metal band or a rock band, looking for a drummer. Like there's straight up, and you can like pull the numbers off it, or even like look on Facebook forums.
Yeah,
like that.
Online, there's constantly stuff. Something I think, so if I didn't have my background in music, and if I didn't have any connections I didn't know, I think one of the best things that I've seen people do, and they've become successful on their own, but it's also led to them having opportunities in actual bands, is whatever your talent is, put it out.
Yeah.
Like videotape yourself, record yourself, whatever it is, put it out. Like let people see what you're able to do and what you bring, because you might find someone might find you and be like, oh, I like his style, or like, or if it's singing, like, dude, that voice would be perfect for what we're doing, because you never know. Like, so I think putting yourself out there, putting your skill, whatever it is, out there, I think is I think that's a great way to like, it's like the new way that wasn't necessarily available, when we were starting out in bands, like, being able to like have that, it's almost like a press kit for yourself.
Yeah.
So.
What are your thoughts on 2-day-old donuts?
I'll eat them. I mean, obviously I want fresh ones, but I've been known to eat, if they're there, I'll
Depends
eat
on how they've been kept for the past 2 days for me. If it's just been in the donut box sitting out, probably not going to eat it. If it's been in a nice, container, I might throw that thing in the microwave for 20 seconds,
Yeah, if it's out, I'll jump on them.
Lucy asks, ice cream or cake when feeling down? Is there an option for both at the same time? Because that's the best combo.
Hot take or I'm not a fan of cake.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a fan of a specific type of cake.
Tres leches?
No, I mean,
Was that racist?
No, I don't like flan.
What?
I know. My cousin was just like, you can't say that until you've had my flan, and her flan, it's good, but it's not straight up flan. It's like almost like a cheesecake flan.
Like, do you not like the texture of it, or is it
kind of? I don't know. I just
sweetness, or
I think it might be a little bit of the texture. I don't know. I've just never liked it. I've tried to. I want to. It just doesn't like. And then just cake, like wedding cake, most birthday cakes. I think most of it's just the frosting. I don't like that type of frosting.
Okay.
But yeah, there's certain types of cakes that I'll eat, but it's rare.
Do you like more of like the whipped cream type frosting, not like the buttercream?
Yeah, I think.
The frosting that's not as like hard and thick.
Well, I'm trying to think what to go way. Like there's certain cupcakes that I like, and I'm like, oh, if this was a cake, I would enjoy this a lot more.
Do you
like funfetti kind of cake?
Like funfetti?
I don't know. I just don't like a lot of what most wedding cakes are.
Yeah.
Not a thing. And this is sound really weird, but I've learned to like try to eat them out of like respect.
Yeah.
Like even
somebody hands you a slice of cake, you go, okay.
Dude, even Andrew's cake.
Weren't a fan?
Nah. And if you saw what I left behind,
I think I did. Yeah. You just like ate the insides, the guts.
Yeah. So yeah, ice cream for me. I love ice cream, even though it hurts me so good.
So we have a statement from Rabananda.
Mm-hmm.
We said, the nurse at the sperm bank asked me if I'd like to masturbate in the cup. I said, well, I'm pretty good, but I don't think I'm ready to compete just yet.
Thank you for that.
And then I wanted to bring this up. So Martin, and this is gonna spiral Mike right now, but Martin just sent this photo to me. So this is a shot of space, which Mike doesn't believe in.
Right. I believe this.
And then if you zoom in, apparently what looks like an alien space station. Don't know what this is from. No context. He just sent the picture. And I said, what is that? And he said, I don't know, but it looks like a freaking alien space station to me. So leave it to Martin.
He literally said that.
And before we head out, because that is it for our questions, once again, at Walking Blind Pod, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Are we on Twitter? I think we are.
We do. I've been so bad.
Make sure you guys check us out at walkingblindpod@gmail.com and check out the YouTube channel. And then we are going to end with our boy, Chris.
Yes.
Sent a statement over. And you know what? I really like this. And I kind of want to just make it our ending tagline.
That's funny.
So
I literally pulled up right now.
Shout out to Chris for this one. But he said, and I quote, "Don't let what happened yesterday ruin your happiness today." We love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.